Welcome to Bruins Overtime Live, presented by BuyAToyota.com. For offers not seen on TV, visit BuyAToyota.com. Adam Pellerin, Billy Jaffe, Barry Peterson. The Bruins lose the finale of their trip out west, 4-0 your final. In a game that saw the Bruins take some costly penalties and one where they just couldn't finish after getting some opportunities.
Well, in particular, guys that are, I don't say automatic, but pretty darn close to it in Pastrnak and Marchand getting your best opportunities. Couldn't finish. 3 of them jump out to mind. Pastrnak with 2 breakaways, Marchand with 1 from the right side, and they couldn't finish at all. Is that the reason why they lost? No, it's just one of 2 or 3 main reasons why they lost. Overall, Barry, though, there's still a vibe about this team that is not, it's not feeling it. It's just right. It's not jiving right now, Barry. And whether it's the top guys, the middle guys, the depth guys, whatever, something isn't connecting.
No, I think as I look back here on the games, I look at that Monday afternoon game at that loss against Florida, and I can remember us talking afterwards. We said, okay, this is a good opportunity, 8 days, 3 games, go out and kind of find your game a little bit. After the 3 games, I don't really think they're any closer to finding their game. Specialty teams, again, today, you're shorthanded too many times, as you said, 6 penalties. Even as bad as things were, you go in the third period, 2:42 in, you have a power play opportunity. You're only down 2-0. If you can score there, as Brick likes to talk always about, timely specialty teams, timely goals, you get one there, bang, you're right in. They had some good chances. That was actually one of their better-looking power plays they've had this year. A couple of crossbars. Pasta has 2 great opportunities in the game and just doesn't get her going. But here's this, the power play. You got an opportunity, and they had some great looks and great moves, and Zacha comes across the goal, and Saros makes a great save there. Pasta gets himself a little bit out here, but you can just see, you can feel them pressing, you can feel them pushing. They know that they got to try and get one here. They just weren't able to finish, but man, they had some glorious opportunities.
They did. I mean, opportunities are nice, except you got to finish one.
Absolutely.
So there's no glass half full, as far as I'm concerned right now. And yeah, we are so early in the season. But how much longer can we keep saying we're so early in the season? Because, again, it comes down to it's kind of the optics or the eye test and everything. And I'll ask you this, Bear, as well. Like, emotionally, they were trying out there. But it just didn't feel like were they totally invested in being able to and needing to do the right thing. We saw it numerous times in this game, again, turning the puck over in certain areas. And while they're scrambling around in that third period, trying hard, it never felt, at least to me, sitting watching the game in the green room with you, that it was like, oh, they're going to get it. They're fine. No issues. It just felt like they were pressing so much that they were overdoing it at times.
Yeah, maybe at times. But I think we also talked about in the pregame show that they better be ready. Because this team, we knew was going to be desperate, right? I didn't think they had a great start. I thought their second period that we showed, their highlights, I thought that was their best period.
Let me ask you this, too. You brought up that Florida game, that second Florida game. They didn't feel that emotionally invested in that one either.
No, I agree.
So there's something that has to be, like you're saying, you better be ready for this game, right?
Well, because as we're sitting here expecting it, you would hope that they would obviously be expecting that as well, and you better be ready because you know it's going to be difficult. They've lost 4 at home, and they're going to come out. They've lost 5 games, and it's like, oh, we got to get going. You better be able to match that. You didn't match that early, and then every time you got some momentum going, you took a penalty.
Well, I think what's disappointing from the Bruins' perspective as well is that the trip started out pretty good, right? You got a win in Colorado. You looked pretty good. You gave up the 3 power play goals, which you don't like, but in terms of the 5-on-5
you can stomach that.
And that's part of building your team game, right? And you thought that maybe you could build it to the next game in Utah, but it didn't work out.
That game, you're right. That Colorado game, they were ready for. They were prepared for. They were emotionally invested in that one, ready to go, Barry, like they had to be.
Yeah, and I think the other disappointing part was that the Utah game was very winnable. That was one that you really felt like we kept saying this thing is halfway through the game. It's like this thing is there. Just go out and take it, and they couldn't.
All right, you talked about the second period. They had the opportunities. Well, they had opportunities coming out in the third period. We showed the power play, but in the third period, they came out and they had the energy and they created some opportunities.
Great play off the faceoff, set play here, Adam. You're right. And then Pastrnak.
That kind of sums up the night.
The ice sucked tonight. Yeah. I'm sorry. You saw the puck bouncing everywhere.
Yeah.
Now, that's not an excuse, but that's kind of epitomizes where this team is at right now, right, Bear? And it's again coming out in the third press and pushing. We liked it. We kept thinking, okay, maybe this will be it. Even strength, pushing the pace, everything, and give Nashville credit though too. I mean, Juuse Saros and their guys made the saves and made the plays when they had to.
Yeah, and Juuse Saros is our Subaru star of the game. Presented by Subaru of New England. Fall in love with a brand new Subaru. You see the numbers. First 4 starts for Saros, 0-4, 3.64 goals against average, 875 save percentage, but perfect tonight. 33 save shutout. A game that Nashville desperately needed, desperately wanted, and they ended up getting that. So another big moment of the game for the Bruins is a high stick call on Charlie McAvoy, resulting in a double minor, but it was before the high stick call that drew our attention.
Right, so the linesman right there on the line, you start seeing him wave it off. Was that because Marchessault touched it with his glove? I'm not sure. But it was definitely because we're not there, this is a harder thing.
Charlie
right now thinks it's an icing.
Correct.
So now he slows down, he kind of does a double clutch, and then he's in a battle. Yes, he absolutely, watch right here. I mean, he absolutely hammers Stamkos right in the face. And it took a little bit for the blood to start coming up, but I think he had it in his mouth or in his nose. Regardless, it was legit double minor. But you could make the argument, or at least we can from afar, that it was a questionable icing. Unless the linesman, who in theory had a better look at it than we did, saw that there was just a touch of the glove.
The difficult part for us is he's on the near board and we can't see his legs or his arms. That's the difficult part to judge that on.
And what was frustrating, too, is that the Bruins killed off that 4 minutes. And like we saw in Utah in overtime, just as the power play opportunity expires, it's Tommy Novak in front of the net, and this is what led up to it.
Yeah, but just like in Utah, you keep going to the well so many times, Adam. You're shorthanded 6 times in this hockey game. You almost kill off the double minor. You almost do this type of stuff, but you just keep putting yourself in the hole as Novak's able to get the rebound there. And you were almost ready to say right about in here, hey, you kill this off, this sport. Now you got some momentum. You're ready to get going. And all of a sudden, you just can't get back into play, and they score an even strength goal that's basically still a power play goal.
Tommy Novak's 3rd goal of the year as the Predators finally get in the win column for the first time since having an offseason where they made big splashes, and they're able to take down the Bruins 4-0. Your final, plenty more to come here on Bruins Overtime Live. We'll get reaction from the Bruins dressing room, plus we'll hear Brick's conversation with Jim Montgomery.